The best neo soul radio station. This is Ellen Soul Radio.
Okay, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are across the globe. Welcome to On the Sofa with yours truly, Esther Austin. Apologies, I cut my signature track off by Tavares. Heaven must be missing an angel, because that angel is sitting right here in the studio talking to you live on Facebook on LN Soul Radio, where Neo Soul and R&B lives. So, ladies and gentlemen, how have you been? How's your week been? Mine has been incredible. That's what I can say. It's been incredible. It gets better and better and better. And each day as I move forward towards my dreams, towards my aims, I'm just making the most incredible strides. And I'm actually now beginning to see my dreams. Now, there's something poking out there. Let's see, what is that? Can you see that? Anyway, don't know what that is. Anyway, so who have I got on the show with me today? I've got the incredible Michelle John. Now, this woman has a voice like, I don't know, you know, sometimes when you hear people sing and you just get shudders, judders, pimples, pumples. This is what this lady's voice does to me. So in the first half of the show, I'm going to be talking to Michelle John. And then in the second half, I will be talking to the former Supremes, Scherrie Payne. She's the sister of Frida Payne, who I interviewed a couple of weeks ago, and she became the lead singer of the Supremes after Mary left. And also Susaye Green, who is the last I would say the last member to join the Supremes. And in between that, Joyce Vincent. So we've got a wonderful lineup for you today. And then in between that, I have the wonderful Trey Ann, who's going to be talking to you about her health and well-being. So there's 5 and sometimes 10 minutes of health and well-being motivation. And then on the latter part of the show, I will be speaking to Lavinia Osborne about financial wealth and investment. Now, she's not going to come, she's not going to be visible, but she will be doing the interview audibly. That sounds about right, doesn't it? Well, there's so much coming up over the next few weeks. Now, next week, just to say, I'm just going to be solely on the radio because it's Pillow Talk. You're going to join me for 2 hours of nice, melodic, slow, sassy, sensual music. Just music to curl up to with the one that you love. And that could be a hot water bottle for all I know. But it's just going to be some downtime with yours truly, Esther Austin. And I'll be playing some well-known tracks, but also some tracks by, I would say, independent and upcoming artists. And a lot of those tracks are going to be from artists I've interviewed over the past few months, like Daryl F. Walker. I just love his music. Shelly K. And also Whittington Steele, Charmaine X. So all those independent artists who have fabulous stuff out there. So I'm going to be mixing and matching that with some of the more regular stuff that you know of. And then for the month of April, On the Sofa with Esther will be going live on multiple platforms. So not just on Facebook Live, but also on YouTube. And I believe the other outlet would be LinkedIn. So lots coming up. And trust me, I have lots coming up in April. And I'm going to share with you towards the end of the show who I have in April. So I'm going to just suggest that you slot out every Sunday between 8 and 10 p.m. But also during the week, there are lots of other wonderful shows on LN Soul Radio where neo soul and R&B meets, or as it lives. One of the two. Sorry, Anthony. Anyway, without further ado, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go over to playing a track from Michelle John. This woman has this incredible power behind her, and I believe behind every voice there's a story, and behind every story there's an experience. And I'm going to play a track from her latest album called Diva Songbook, and Diva Songbook was written throughout lockdown, so it's going to be interesting to talk to Michelle about some of the tracks that she selected to do and why. But also there's another incredibly powerful track of hers called Labels, and it's a very telling track about how we conform or sometimes don't conform or are accepted or are not accepted because of the labels that we're given or the labels that we choose to walk with. So without further ado, I'm going to go and play What's Going On. And as you know, that was actually done by the man himself, Marvin Gaye. This is Michelle John.
Mother, there's far too many of you crying. Brother, there's far too many of you dying. You know we've gotta find a way to bring some love in here today. Ooh, Father,
Loving this.
we don't need to escalate. You see, war is not the answer. Only love can conquer hate. Don't you know we've gotta find a way to bring some love in here today. Picking lines, sister, picking sides.
And I'd just like to say a good evening to Whittington Still, to Anthony Beef on from Ellen Soul Radio.
Talk to me, sister, so you can see what's going on. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on?
Try not to get too distracted with Facebook and sending messages. But you're listening to On the Sofa with Esther, and this is Michelle John in the background with What's Going On.
Everybody thinks we're wrong. But who would made a judge simply cause our hair is long? Oh, don't you know we've gotta find a way to bring some love in here today. Oh, pick a line and pick a time. Well, don't punish me with brutality. Ooh, talk to me so we can see what's going on. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Yeah. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Yeah. I wanna know what's going on.
So as you can hear from her voice, very powerful vocals. And as I did my research around Michelle, you know, the more that I watched her perform, it was the more that I was drawn into this incredible vortex of the everything. And one thing that I realized about this young lady, and that's why I can't wait to interview her, is, you know, what you see with her is very much what you get. She lays herself bare, and I've been following her on her Instagram posts, and she has been through some stuff, as we all have. But the most important thing is for us to be real with ourselves. A lot of times we think we're real with ourselves, and we're not really facing what we need to face, and it tends to walk with us. And obviously then our experiences reference what's really going on, not just on the surface, not just us being all connected and spiritual, but what's really going on. And that's what she's, in that song, what's going on, but not what's going on, what's really, really going on. So yes, Michelle John should be joining us in a few minutes. And on the other side, we have the former Supremes. And I do know that they will be playing a tribute to the late Mary Wilson. So got a jam-packed show for you today. So on that note, let's go over to a couple of jingles. And then hopefully on the other side, I'll be talking to Michelle John.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are across the globe. Welcome to On the Sofa with Esther Austin. Live from London, Sundays 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. GMT. And on the last Sunday of the month, join me for Pillow Talk, soul-filled, sultry, and sassy, sexy music to make your toes curl. Your Sunday nights will never be the same on LN Soul Radio.
Out of London, UK, we are LN Soul Radio, where Neo Soul lives.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to yours truly, Esther Austin, on the Sofa with Esther on LN Soul Radio, LN Soul Radio. Well, just got to share what my week's been like. It's been productive. It's been so fantastic. And I do lots of I would say sort of spiritual speaky sometimes, but when you're in the vortex, so to speak, when you are aligned, then so many wonderful things happen, and all my dreams, everything that I've been working towards for years and years and years, is finally coming together. And I know that you would speak to my boys and they would tell you, oh mum, you've been saying the same thing all the time, but it's that tenacity, it's that persistence, and that perseverance to believe and to trust, and then to know that actually I am on the right path, and this is what I need to do, and it's what I am about. And this, like I said, there's so many wonderful things happening, even up until yesterday. Last week I interviewed the Emotions, and that was a fabulous show. And I got a communication from Wendy Vaughan, the daughter of Wonder Vaughan of the Emotions, and she invited me to a soul singing session with the legendary Brenda Lee Eager yesterday from 6 till 7:30, and I had such a fabulous time. Brenda is this ball of energy, this ball of light, she was so encouraging and so inspiring. And I walked away from that session thinking, you know what? I'm going to do this. And so, and then afterwards I interviewed her, but it was just her energy and her love of music and her passion to teach others and to support others in finding their voice, not just our vocal voice, not just our audio voice, but our singing voice, our soulful voice. And it was an incredible experience. And so she's doing a series of these soul singing sessions, and she's on next week again. So go onto my Facebook page, On the Sofa with Esther, and you'll find details there, and you can contact Wendy for more details. Wendy Vaughan, Vaughn. Right, come on lady, where are you girl? Right, whilst I'm waiting for Michelle to connect, I'm going to play the track labels actually, because this is the one that I really want to talk to her about. Listen to the words in this. Okay.
skin. I'm not white, I'm not dark enough, or I'm too light. I've got long hair, curls are too tight. It's not an afro. Why do I have to live with all these labels? Living with them all, it just ain't right. Why do I have to live with all these labels? Who gets to decide if I fit in? Am I good enough? I'm not Kate Moss, jeans are too tight, probably overweight, but I feel fine. Wasn't born rich, money gets tight, but I'm not poor. Why do I have to live with all these labels? Living with them all, it just ain't right. Why do I have to live with all these labels? Who gets to decide if I fit in? Am I good enough? I can only be who I am.
Michelle, welcome. I can't hear you. Oh, yes, I can. Yes. Oh, she's here. Michelle, I'm just going to play the track out as we talk. And firstly, I want to say thank you so much for joining me. Been getting excited, like Michelle John's on. I hope she picks up in time.
Thank you. This is a blessing.
And I'm just going to turn this down. Yeah, I'm going to replay that again. Ladies and gentlemen, I've got Michelle John with me for the first half of the show. And I am so looking forward to this, Michelle, because when I contacted you, I mean, I've wanted to interview you for a long time. But when I've done my research around you and I've been following you on Instagram, there's such a depth to you, woman. There's such this richness. And when you sing, I mean, I had you on rewind last night, well, all week actually, because there's power behind your words, there's power in your voice, but that there's also a story that's coming from a deep well within you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I feel that I'm very much an empath anyway, so I feel everything. I feel everything, and I'm quite sensitive to that. And so one thing I'd like to ask you before we move forward is, who is Michelle in a nutshell, in a peanut shell, or a walnut shell?
Michelle is at this stage in my life, because we all go through different stages, don't we?
Yeah.
But at this stage, Michelle is a whole woman, all by herself.
All by herself. High five.
All by herself. And I'm an artist, and it took me many years to be able to say that about myself, but I'm an artist in my own right. I'm a mother, I'm a lover, and anyone can take that how they want to take it, okay? But like you, I'm an empath. I love people. I like to connect to people. And so, yeah, so all of those things, Michelle being a whole woman, a mother, a lover of herself, of people, is, I hope, what comes across in my music. Nice. And I feel like I'm singing my own song, but I think I'm singing the song of many people. I don't want to just say women, but many people that have probably gone through similar refining struggles or situations or part of their journey, their story, that have made them who they are today. So these are their songs.
And it was interesting, Michelle, when you said you finally managed to call yourself an artist, if I've called it right. What was the struggle with that before? And how do you identify yourself as an artist? What is an artist to you? Or what is that to you?
Right. So the struggle, I think, coming from having a number of identity issues for myself. I was born in the 70s. I grew up in the 80s. I grew up in South London. I was on the council estate. I was one of a few mixed race people. So there was very few people that looked like me that I could identify and connect with. I was a black girl, a mixed race girl in a black family. So, you know, all of those identity things, and I grew up in a black church.
Okay.
So you know, I'm singing glory, glory, hallelujah. You know, week after week. And I was the white girl that could sing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and that's why my song Labels is very real, because it's about all the labels that I had growing up, right? And so I just accidentally, I was just able to sing. I don't know why, who, how, what. It was just something that I was able to do. And I became, again, accidentally, I became a backing singer. And so I was comfortable for a long time in that role of serving other people and just being in the background and being in a support role. And maybe because of my own identity issues, I never felt that I was good enough to step forward. And then I don't know what happens, Esther, like maybe something happens when you turn 40. There's a switch, and then you go, do you know what? I'm ready to embrace me.
Absolutely.
And I've got songs, I've written my own songs. I want to be able to sing my own songs. So do you know what? Let me just give myself a try. And so now I'm embracing, and I can say about myself, hey, I'm an artist. I'm a music artist. I write my own songs. My album, I produced it. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm an artist.
Can we do a high five, or should we do, you know, something like that?
Yes.
And what's really beautiful about that, Michelle, is that you've embraced it, you're owning it, but it's almost, I feel that you're saying, you know what, world, this is who I am. And that particular track, Labels, it can reference to so many people in so many different ways, whether you're white, black, a little green pygmy. We've all had labels. And I say that because I know sometimes, and we all go on our own individual journey. But I know for me, I was always the odd one out because I was quiet, but also people saw something different in me. And, you know, they didn't want me to be part of the clique. And I didn't really want to be anyway, because my father would have cut my tail if I got myself into certain trouble, right? But then even in church, we were always the Austins who sat at the back. We were always different from the others. So everyone has experienced some sort of segregation. That's why when you said your track Labels is for both men and women, to show them that actually you don't have to carry that, you don't have to become it. And that's what, even in the world and what's happening, it's so divisive.
Yeah. And do you know what I think is beautiful about, and I think the pandemic has kind of escalated it, but I feel like right now the shame is falling off of people, and people are saying, do you know what? I'm struggling. I've got depression. I've got mental health issues. I'm gay. I'm black. I'm female. Whatever. I'm fluid, or whatever it is. Like, the shame is coming off, and I think that's the labels. It asks the question, am I good enough? And you have to be able to say about yourself, whatever you are, whatever is your story, whatever is the label, abuse, divorce, single, whatever it is, right? You have to be able to say, with all of my labels, like, the one main label is that I'm good enough. And that's it.
That's the platform, isn't it? That's the platform that everything, once you feel that you're good enough, then it doesn't matter, actually. This is who I am. And there's such power when you own it. There's such power when you wear it and then you carry it. And it's almost like, whatever. This is
It's exactly that. Yes. Yeah.
Well, let's now talk about your I mean, you've done a documentary and you've got an album called Diva Songbird, and that's a collection of covers. You know, I went through each one, especially this week. I said I fell off to sleep listening to one, you know, Mercy, Mercy, Mercy. And all of these. So how did you select the tracks for that particular album?
Okay, so one of the beautiful things about the pandemic, I think it made us kind of rely on the simple things again, right? So for me, music has been my thing. And I was going to be doing an album, and I just changed the whole concept because I felt that at this time, I needed songs to lift me up. So I put out like a playlist, and people can go to my YouTube or whatever, and not even my own songs, but just songs that would just make me feel good in the house. Do you know what I mean? Just make me, you know, in the morning sometimes, especially for me, I like to have something happy, something vibrant, something that's going to say to me, "Going to be all right today, Scherrie. You're going to be fine. You got this." And so I wanted to do a collection of songs to bring people through times like this, and whatever their own personal storms. The album's called Diva Songbook, Through the Storm. So whatever your personal storm is, there's a song. One of these songs is going to help you. One of these songs is going to lift you up. It's going to boost you up. It's going to make you go, you know what? Come on, pick yourself up. We can do this. That's the whole concept of the album. You know, I could have done an album of my own songs and just promote me, but I just wanted to do a collection of songs that encourage me. So these are some of my go-to songs.
Excellent.
And songs that just would encourage other people, and that was it. And the beautiful thing about this project was that it was a GoFundMe, and so people said, I said, look, this is the album I want to do, this is the idea, if you want to support me in this, please do. And people did.
But I guess but that was a channel for you. That was a channel for so many people to say, and you're really valued as well. People really value you. So for you to say support with this, because like you said, people were looking for places to go, because the pandemic has challenged us on so many levels in such a short space of time, all at once. You know, I remember last year I got I don't know about you, but I developed lockdown belly, and I'm like, had lockdown belly. And then I remember I was standing in the kitchen because my sons have a friend and he does the most incredible cakes. They've set up a cake place, right? And so every weekend my son would buy a cake, and what I'll do, I'll cut a slither off, hoping that nobody would notice. But I got caught out because nobody else was eating the cake, and they only realized when the cake was down to that much, Mum, it must be you. No, how can it be me? But Mum, no one's had any. And then I was standing in the kitchen at one point and they go, Mum, you put on weight. Because I've always had a certain type of body. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do something about this. So like you said, in this time, it's given us time to, there's been lots of revelations. It's brought up what we're struggling with. It's brought up things that we can create. It's brought up the old, the new, the bar, the blue, everything. And so it's given us that time. So you've done this wonderful album. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to play a track from that album. I've already played What's Going On. So, right, Michelle, let's see. Wind Beneath My Wings. Wind Beneath My Wings. Because that's I love that track anyway, but when you sang it, oh my gosh, this goes to goosebumps, man. I just need to go and fan myself. Right, people, I'd like you just to listen to this. Close your eyes if you have to, and see what it captures within you. What does it bring up within you? Where does it take you? And you put your comments on Facebook. I've sussed out how to use Facebook and this at the same time, actually. Just need another phone.
You always want to step behind. So I was the one with all the glory, while you were the one with all the strength. A beautiful face without a name, a beautiful smile to hide the pain. Did you ever know that you're my hero?
Go on, Michelle. I know you want to sing it out.
And everything I would like to be. I can fly higher than an eagle.
The wind beneath my wings.
For you are the wind beneath my wings. It might have appeared to go unnoticed, but I've got it all here in my heart. Want you to know I know the truth. You know I know the truth. I would be nothing without you. Ooh. Did you ever know that you're my hero? You're everything I wish I could be. I can fly higher than an eagle. You are the winds beneath my wings.
Gosh, Michelle, I was really trying to hold back because, you know, your voice and mine is no comparison. Because with this, listening to that song just makes you want to just go, wow, this is what I'm feeling. This is what I'm going through. This is what I want to release. This is, it feels, and I guess I'm a very feely person, but it's simply saying, in a sense, also, someone be there for me. Someone be there to catch me. So you're singing from, it's almost like a three-dimensional perspective where the wind beneath my wings, but also there's almost a cry, just somebody be there if I fall.
So this song, the reason why I chose this song is during the whole lockdown and everything, I'm sure there's people that have lost people. And this was what inspired it. Was I lost a friendship. I wanted to say, I never got the opportunity to say, actually, you didn't understand how important you were to me. And so that was the cry.
And did you, if I may say, was it just a separation of a friendship, or did they actually pass away?
No, they didn't pass away. It was the end of a friendship. Basically. Yeah.
And
but
that's sorry, apologies. There's a bit of a
some of those relationships are really painful because it's you love. It's a different kind of love, but friendship, is. I think we've learned that even in this period, how important it is to have people that genuinely love you and care about you. Absolutely. And respect you and honor you as a friend. And, if we didn't have Facebook and Zoom and all of these things to be able to connect with our friendships during this time, how sad. So to lose a beloved friend it hurt my heart. And so the song says, you know, you're the winds. You were the winds that I kind of relied on so much to help to carry me, you know. But in that, you know, you send a blessing.
Yes.
So it's not anger. There's no anger. There's just the love, the pure love of being able to say, maybe you didn't understand, but
I'm letting you go, and
you're precious.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And
that's what was coming up when I was singing that song, and that's one of the reasons why I chose that song.
And do you feel it was more poignant because of the times we were in, Michelle? The times of lockdown, the times of, even though it was separation on one level, like you said, social media then acted as that glue that brought everybody together, because after a while, you needed to find a way to reach out. After the first few months where everybody was sending jokes about lockdown and the toilet paper and all those things, then the reality kicked in. Remember? The reality kicked in. It's like, we are on lockdown. And what does that mean? You know, not just in our own personal lives, but then our work, our jobs, our livelihoods, everything.
Everything was covered over by a question mark. Do you know what I mean? There was like a big question mark hanging over. That's how I felt for a period of that time. You know, as you said, once you've made a few banana cakes and you know, you've relaxed and you've gone out for walks and everything, but when the reality of it, and especially for me, people like myself in my industry, in the music industry, we were particularly hit very hard, you know. and there hasn't been that support for the industry, you know. So songs like these were, you know, life and breath. Do you know what I mean? Just being able to exhale and go, okay, let the music wash over, you know. And the kind of music that I love and the singers that I love are singers that make me feel. I want to be able to feel. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, yes.
You know, and so that I try to be is I try to connect whatever it is in that moment, but I want you to feel it. I want it to be something that makes you go, okay, thanks, Mish. You know.
And
so,
your story also, Michelle, because you've done a documentary as well, and there's this thread about not just being a woman, but coming into your, if it's a word, your womanhood. Does that make sense? There's something about you know, girlfriend. There's something about the honoring. I can't. Oh, whatever. But there's something about after the show, you'll have to show me all the moves, because even I don't usually swear, but sometimes when I'm in a playful mood, I've used the wrong finger, and now I know why people don't respond to me, because it's the wrong finger. I did that for years, and I thought I was so sort of, you know, and it's the wrong finger, but. You know, there's this whole thing with you as well. I feel as if you're really coming into your own, but it's more than that. You're coming into your sassiness. You're coming into your sensuality, and the sensuality isn't just about sex. It's much more than that. It's how you carry yourself from the inside out, how you walk, how you hold yourself. That is what sexiness is, and it's more than just the aesthetic of it. It's an honoring and an ownership of yourself as a woman, the queen.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
You do a high five, Michelle. High five. Come on, high five, girl.
That's totally it. Yes. But I think what and I have to use social media, especially with what I do, right? You have to use social media. And when you look through social media a lot of the time, sometimes and I say we as women, sometimes what we put out in the in the world of social media sends a certain kind of message, right? And so I think by the advert that you put out is what you're gonna attract into your world.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not against a woman putting out a beautiful picture of herself, or sometimes you might do your makeup and your hair and it just falls together that day. Yeah. And you're just like, oh, I need to take a picture. I did good today,
Yeah.
So I have no issues. I have no issue with that at all. And I think what is beautiful is when you see, and sometimes you can look at a picture and you can almost feel the inner glow, the inner belief, the inner, do you know what I mean? And so yes, and it's not perfect. I'm flawed, I have flaws. I have back fat, whatever. Do you know what I mean? But the woman that I am today, like, woo, girl, I'm proud of this version of me. Do you know what I mean? Because I know what it's taken to get to where I am. So just don't judge me, because this is my confidence showing up for me finally, and me saying all of this, she is worthy. She's worthy of all the love that I give her. And I'm very careful now about how I speak to myself. My tone of voice has changed. So whereas before I would get frustrated, oh, Shell, why did you do that? Oh, it's so stupid, whatever. Now I'm like, Shell, you know what? Okay, you know what? You do better tomorrow. It's a different way that I speak to myself.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you with your children or your friends, you don't speak to them any and anyhow. You speak to them in a certain kind of, still with a bit of honor and a bit of respect, a bit of love, a bit of patience. Do you know what I mean? So I need to give myself that. And so by setting that standard for myself, I set a standard for how everyone else has to match my standards. I'm not coming down. I've done that.
Yeah.
I came down. I diminished. I settled. I was silent. But now I've taught myself, you can trust me with me now, because I will stand up for you. I will speak for you. I will represent you in the best way that I can. I will honor you the best way that I can. I will show up for you. And I've showed up for people. Now I've got to show up for me. That's it.
Fantastic. And the key word that you said there, Michelle, was honoring. And I remember interviewing Cece Peniston a couple of years ago, and she said there was a friend of hers that's always saying, Cece, you're always doing something, you're always moving up. Why don't you? And she goes, no, girlfriend, why don't you step up? I'm not coming down to join you there. And so there's that, because then you don't need people to people to validate you. I don't need to do anything to be validated. People know that I can roam on my own. I'm comfortable, thank you very much. I don't need you to, because when you rely on others to validate you, you sometimes lose the essence and the power of who you really are, because you want to be.
I don't need your permission.
Absolutely.
I don't need your permission.
Yeah.
Full stop.
Yeah. We sound like activists, don't we?
But something, it's so needed. It's just so needed right now. And I think we need it. Our friends, our peers, our girls, our baby girls coming up. We need it right now. It's important.
Role models.
And I think, and I don't want to go too far into this, but I feel like, I was talking to one of my friends and I was saying that there's this whole movement about independent women and, strong women and But that, just because you're strong, it doesn't mean that you don't need love or the support or the encouragement of other people. And that's the misconception, oh, I'm a strong, independent woman. I don't need a man. That's your business, sweetheart, because guess what? I love a man who's going to talk me up. who's going to help me, who's going to support me, it doesn't have to, not someone who's going to take away from me, someone who's going to add, because I'm not coming down. And do you know what I mean? Sometimes I think we sell this thing of, I'm strong, I'm independent, and
Yeah.
and then we're crying in our pillow at night. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes.
So there's that balance. So there's strength in being beautiful
Vulnerable.
and being vulnerable.
Absolutely.
Being vulnerable.
Yeah.
Right? There's strength in that, and saying, do you know what? I could do with some help.
Mm-hmm.
And being able to accept help. And I think sometimes as strong, independent women, we set ourselves up not to be able to receive love.
And that is
we've talked ourselves out of it.
Yes. And because we talk ourselves out of it and we're not open to receiving it, then we form the perspective that I can't get it, so therefore I don't need it. No, but that's because you've blocked it off. And another key thing you said there is about, I usually say there's the terminology about the strong Black woman, but there's the strong empowered woman. Sorry, not Black, empowered woman. And for me, sometimes I see those two as being slightly different, because you've got the strong woman who's just going through life like a, just mowing things up in her path. And then there's the empowered woman who's actually can recognize, actually, I am strong. However, I can allow myself to be vulnerable and still be strong in that place. And that's what the power lies, girlfriend.
Yeah, exactly. Because sometimes we wear this badge of I'm a strong Black woman, and that means sometimes we allow people to treat us like a donkey, just keep loading us up, load after load, because we've got this strong. And it's not, I don't think it's healthy. It's not healthy for us. Being an empowered woman, as you said, has a whole different energy, a different connotation. Completely.
Absolutely.
So I'm with you there.
Well, time is going, and before you go, Michelle, how did that happen? I just feel I've literally just got you on. No, go away, time. Right, what I'm going to do, my dear, then is, so you've got a friend. I think I'm going to play that one as a last. You've got a friend. I believe this may come from the story that you've shared with me about losing the friendship. Is that right, Michelle?
Well, I think You've Got a Friend is about, don't be there by yourself, don't struggle. There's people out there that are waiting for you to phone them, or waiting for you to send out a WhatsApp. And again, sometimes we're so strong that we don't give the impression that we need, we could do with some company. So You've Got a Friend is about not taking this journey by yourself.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
well, ladies and gentlemen, sorry, there's a bit of a time lag with today. I'm not too sure what's creating that, but I just want to say thank you so much for coming on, Michelle. I've wanted to talk to you for so long, and I just really felt this conversation in my heart chakra. Okay, we get more spiritual. Excuse me, I got to go there sometimes. Yeah. But I just want to say thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for your depth and your richness, and keep inspiring us with your music, because it's not just a song, it's a message. It's not just a message, it's beyond that, and I can't explain it, but it's beyond that, and you know what I'm saying.
Can I encourage some of the listeners? Next week Sunday, I'm doing a live stream concert. It's free. It's on my YouTube channel, and I'm going to be singing my album live with my band. And so I'd love if people want to come on and get inspired, get encouraged, hear some good music, and just have some positive beautifulness come into the room on next week, Sunday evening.
Oh, wow. What time is that next week?
7 p.m. Go to my YouTube channel, all the details. You just go on my social media, Mish John, MEESH, Mish John, and all the information is there. And just come and be blessed.
Wow.
Esther, thank you.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And looking forward to connecting with you later down in the year to see what you've done and what other inspiring music you've brought out to touch our souls. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Michelle John. Bless you. Thank you. And I'm going to play out with her track. You've got a friend. Thank you, Michelle.
You guys. Bye.
To see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall. All you gotta do is call, and I'll be there. Oh, ain't it good to know you got a friend when people can be so cold. They'll hurt you and desert you. Take your soul if you let them. Oh, but don't you let them. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed that. It felt very brief, it felt very deep, and it felt very rich. Interlude with Michelle John, very deep lady, and do try to join her next week for her free live gig. I just know that you're going to be so richly inspired. And as we play out her track in the background, I now have Trey Ann. Trey Ann, are you there?
I am here. I'm trying to take my camera off. Ooh,
Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen,
definitely
we've got the lovely Trey Ann, who's going to be talking to us about health and well-being. She's our health and well-being specialist. So,
Right.
yes, Trey Ann, lovely to see you today.
Lovely to see you.
I just finished interviewing Michelle John.
Oh, lovely Michelle. Yes, wonderful lady she is.
Fabulous singer,
Isn't she?
but also a very powerful person in her own right.
Yes,
So,
definitely.
yeah, so I think we're sort of
lady.
winding down from that. So, my lovely, how have you been?
I'm very good. I'm very good. I'm very well. Been busy, but I'm well. I'm well. Yeah, I hosted at a jewelry launch last night. That was very interesting.
Good. So I've noticed you're getting out there now.
Yeah.
It's really nice because I believe that, and we keep blaming the lockdown, but I feel the lockdown there's so many things that's come out of it. And I do believe what it's doing for a lot of us, it's spurning on our creative process. Absolutely. And we've got to make stuff happen. We've got bills to pay. So whichever way we got to swing it, we're trying.
Absolutely. And the type of people we are as well, we are go-getters, aren't we? So
absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
It's in our DNA.
Seeing you all over the place, like, okay, go girl, you do your thing.
Yeah.
So, Treyan, what have you got for us today?
Right. So today I'm going to be speaking to the viewers about healthy skin. So I just wanted to touch on different things that you can maybe do or you can identify, mainly, to be honest, because we know that whatever skin type you have, it's all about healthy eating. Yeah. So basically, if you have an imbalance in your skin, such as oily skin, it generally is that you have an overactive glands that's going on, overactive sebaceous glands. And what I would suggest is that you try a liver detox, okay, or a detox diet even. So your fresh fruits, your fresh vegetables, lots of water, cutting out all of the junk food, the alcohol. That is my core message anyway, Esther, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So when you have dry skin, so some people have oily skin and you can be any age as well, then you can have a dry skin. Whatever you put on it, it's just, it's just lacking, any kind of, substance. So basically what you generally find is there is a deficiency in of the blood and also of the body fluids, and also essential fatty acids, which you can get from flax seeds, all of the seeds. You can get from oily fish, you know, you can get from coconut, avocado, things like that. So generally you need to get that back in, like coconuts and all of the natural fatty acids, you know, avocados and things like that. And again, lots of water. Again, if you have, I'm just going to talk about palms quickly. If you have sweaty palms continuously, you know, sometimes you're so embarrassed you don't want to shake anybody's hands. So basically that is issue with your adrenal gland. So you can see a doctor about that. Oh, I wouldn't suggest, you know, going on medication. You can go on natural medication, but it's good to go to the doctors, get the diagnosis, and then go through the natural routes if possible. So another one is cracked skin. So sometimes we have cracked lips because of the winter, or, you know, sometimes we're just really dry, and sometimes there's an issue behind the ears where it's cracked in between the ears. And generally that is a lack of vitamin A, C, zinc, and again, essential fatty acids. Okay, so again, you just need to be eating healthy. Hard skin is a lack of essential fatty acids. Anything like that, hard, dry, fatty acids are very lubricative, you know? So and basically, if you have thin skin, this is the last one, this can occur because of, you know, steroid use and things like that. So you will need to get, you know, again, thin skin is difficult to really turn around to get, you know, thicker skin. But basically, again, eat healthy and just be very, very delicate. Don't drag the skin when you're creaming. You know, some people are just, you know, using your ring finger or patting. That's right. I know it takes a little bit longer than, you know, you're rushing out of the house and you're creaming your face in the car even, or
you know, on the street. Done that this morning.
Yes, especially if you've got thin skin, because you just don't want it to get any more thinner, because you start seeing the blood capillaries coming through, and, you know, you start, you know, it's easy to damage then. So that's the skin conditions I wanted to leave with you, and just giving you an example of, you know, why do you have this? And ways that you can rectify it, which is always eating healthy, you know.
But can I ask something, Tran? With thin skin, is that a condition, or is that as a result of?
It's a result of, yeah, a result of. So it's not something you can turn around and suddenly get thick skin, but you can just take your time looking after it, you know, and obviously wear your moisturizers just to protect your skin a bit more, especially in the summer as well.
So if I may, have you got just a few more minutes?
Yeah, of course.
With thin skin, how does that occur?
So it could be down to steroids, long use of steroids, that is, which, you know, affects the body after a while. So yeah, that's how it can occur. Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. Yeah. So if anybody wants to find out more about what you do, join up to your programs, because I notice you're always posting some love, especially your meals. I mean,
I'm glad you like them. I don't get much response, but
I don't have the will for myself. I really don't have the will sometimes. And even sometimes when my boys look at what I've put on a plate for myself, because I can eat basic, but I can eat basic and healthy.
Yes.
And my youngest son said, "Mum, why? How?" He goes, "You can never give anybody that." I said, "Well, nobody's living here with me."
That's right. That's right. And it's doing your body good, right?
It's doing my body good. So you go up and eat your fried stuff and whatever, and you just eat my basic dry food, because at the end of the day, it's working for me.
Yes.
But I do follow you because it gives me ideas.
Yes.
And more ideas, and it doesn't really go further than that. But it's just nice to see somebody following that regime.
No, I totally understand. Yeah. I do I'm trying to be consistent with posting, you know, to give people ideas, because, you know, the feedback I'm getting is it's helping people to think, okay, I want to eat healthy, but chicken and chips is there normally, and, you know, it's just there. So, you know, the little ideas is helpful.
Brilliant.
And it's nice when everybody else gives their ideas as well in the group, you know, it's nice. But yes, so you can find me at Inside Out Healthy Lifestyles on Facebook. Inside Out Health #2 on Instagram, and you can also find me at YouTube, Trey Ann's World, where there's a mixture of things. The fitness is coming, but there's a mixture of things at the moment. But definitely the fitness is coming. Once we can get out and I can get more things filmed, it's coming. But my date's ready. I'm just hoping we get through this lockdown, you know, in April, so we can actually get out and meet with a few people, and I can get my bits and pieces.
Fantastic. Well, Treyanne, always a blessing talking to you. Gives me some tools and tips, and I'm looking forward to talking to you next week. I'm going to be doing pillow talk. It's going to just be mellow music because I'm just going to take downtime.
Brilliant.
Back in April.
Nice.
So we will see you back in April, and thank you so much always.
Thank you, Esther. Beautiful. And by the way, your hair's looking amazing.
Oh yeah, I got it done on Friday because I did a photo shoot today.
Oh,
so
nice.
I feel a bit like Woody Woodpecker at the moment.
It's lovely. Really nice. Yeah, like it. Suits you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Take care. Bye-bye. See you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so you are listening and you are watching On the Sofa with yours truly, Esther Austin. And so in the first half, I interviewed Michelle John. As you can see, she was an incredible artist. And coming up shortly, I will be talking to the former Supremes. We lost a great Supreme recently, Mary Wilson, who was the co-founder. And now we're going to be talking to, well, I'm going to be talking to Scherrie, Payne, Susaye Green, and Joyce, Vincent. So they should be coming through within the next 10 minutes. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go over to play a little bit more music. Let's just keep things rolling, keep things tight, and keep things uplifting. And so what have I got for you? Let's play something from the album Unconditional Love by the former Supreme. So this is Unconditional Love. The ladies of glamour, elegance, and much more. So this is called Unconditional Love. Let's check any messages that you've left.
Ooh, baby, when I look at you, I see bright lights shining on your
Just like to say a big hi to Carrie. Hi, Carrie.
I see sweet nights with you in my arms. There is no other place that I'd rather be.
Hi, Sim.
Ooh, the way you make me feel with your hand in mine. We can't do anything that we want, 'cause we know that it's unconditional. You want my love, baby, just come here. All you gotta do is call. I'll be there for you, baby, yeah. Put your trust in just in my unconditional love.
If you notice tonight, everyone, we've been talking so much about unconditional love, friendships, love in its finest, love in, you know, not just about friendships, but intimate love. And so unconditional love from the former Supremes, hopefully it's going to get you to think about love in your life. Are you missing love? Would you like to be loved? Would you like to experience love of self? Have a think.
Like you do. Ooh, and when you're in my arms, feeling safe and warm, we can't do anything that we want, 'cause we know that it's unconditional. You want my love, baby, just come here. Baby, come get it. I'll be there for you, baby. condition of love.
Baby, just come here. I'll be there for
you, baby.
Okay, that's Unconditional Love by the former Supremes.
Your love is lifting me higher than I ever been lifted before.
This is Plateau Music recording artist Bobby Brooks Wilson, son of the late great Jackie Wilson. And you're on the sofa where Esther transform your mind, transform your well-being.
Out of London, UK, we are LN Soul Radio, where Neo Soul lives.
And this next track, ladies and gentlemen, is Come See About Me, from their latest album by the former Supremes. It's got that 1950s feel, hasn't it? Very bouncy.
Tears won't wash away the fears that you never ever gonna turn to ease the fire that within. He's been crying, begging for you. He's been sighing, begging for you. So won't you hurry? Come on, boy, see about me. See about me. See about you, baby. See about me. I've given up my friends just.
I'd like to say a big shout out to Sim and also to Carrie Brown. I'm going to have that lady on the show one day. She's a font of knowledge about the history of Motown and lots of other great artists.
No matter what you do, say, I'm gonna love you anyway.
Also, do check out Wichita Steele and some of the incredible songs she's written. So have a listen to another powerhouse.
Come on, boy, see about me. See about me. See about you, baby.
And coming up in the month of April, I have a stellar lineup of guests just for you. On the first Sunday of the month, on the 4th,
Sometimes down. Ooh, my life's so uncertain.
I have Tony.
From these arms you may be but my heart's taking
And then for the second part of the show on the 4th of April, I have Bobby Wilson, the son of the late Jackie Wilson.
Come on, boy, see about me. See about me.
And then on the 11th of April, I have that old school band, the Ebonies, and the second half, the Whispers, remember, and the beat goes on.
See about me. See about you, baby. See about me. Come on and see about
And then on the 18th of April, I have a jamboree. I have Gemini Burke, the son of Solomon Burke. And on the first part of the show, he's going to be on with his brothers. And then he's going to be joined by the Sons of Legends. He set up this group where the Sons of Legends are honoring their father. And that's going to be with Lou Rawls Jr. Who else? Bobby Wilson, Joe Tex, and Johnny Taylor, if I remember correctly. So as I told you, I've got a stellar lineup of guests for my show in April. And next week, the last Sunday of the month, as I said before, I will be doing Pillow Talk, just winding things down a little and just taking some well-deserved R&R as I play some really oochie smoochy music to curl your toes. Also, we have Scherrie Payne. It's all happening on Ellen Soul Radio. And throughout the week, there are some other wonderful shows. Hey! There are some other wonderful shows on LN Soul Radio. So do go on to the www.lnsoulradio.com platform, and you can see all the other incredible shows that's happening throughout the week. Scherrie.
Hi, Esther. How are you?
Hello. Oh, God, she's here. I'm going to do my dance. Oh, this is a real pleasure. You know, Scherrie, I just love what I do because I just meet the most incredible artists who are incredible people in their own right. And I'm looking forward to this part of the show. So where are the other ladies? They're on their way.
They should be on their way. They should be joining in soon.
They should be
Susaye is really tech savvy. I'm not. My daughter helps me.
But you're here, Scherrie, you're here.
Yeah.
Well, what I'm going to do, my dear, we can just have a conversation until they come on board. Where do I start? I'm just feeling boom, 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 boom. So, Scherrie, what I'd like to start off with actually is, your tribute to Mary. We lost a great icon last month.
Yes.
A great icon.
Still can't believe it.
But obviously he was one of the co-founders of the Supremes, and that was the bedrock for that you've all sort of stepped upon. And then you took the lead at one point when Mary stepped back. So her legacy, Scherrie, what do you feel her legacy, what do you feel she has left for the world?
Well, I like to think, when I think of the Supremes, I think about the class they brought for young Black girls. Something to strive for, which I was very disappointed, I have to say, about the Grammy Awards last week, but that's another story. But the Supremes represented class, that you can do anything. You can, from the lowest to you can go up to the highest of heights. And they came from a place in Detroit that was economically sort of, I won't say impoverished, but from the Brewster Projects. And look what happened. They gained the world. They gained the world from this company that never imagined that one day this little baby company, but this embryo grew up to be a giant, and they set the bar up so high but show what you can do as a young Black woman and young Black girls. It gave them something to look forward to. And they did it with such dignity and class, and they didn't have to take off clothes and stuff. They had wonderful music, wonderful voices, and they believed in themselves and their dream. They never stopped dreaming, and that's what Mary did. She never stopped dreaming. She was always going higher and higher and higher. Nothing would stop her.
Wow.
Hi, Joyce.
Joyce, hello.
Hi. How are you?
Loving the hair, loving the new, is it new?
Yes.
You look so pretty, Joyce.
Oh, thank you. So do you, Scherrie.
Thank you.
Nice to see you, Miss Esther. How are you?
I am good, and I am better because I'm talking to some incredible women on this part of the show. I had a really quite poignant the first part because the artist Michelle John, she's a very deep artist, very deep and poignant and rich, and so it was one of those conversations that sometimes there was a bit of stillness in the air as you sort of let it sit. So I'm looking forward to speaking to yourselves even more. Sorry, Joyce, I was just asking Scherrie about, we lost, as we know, that our incredible icon, Mary Wilson, last month. So Scherrie was just speaking and recapturing some of who Mary was and the essence of who she was and what that essence created in the world. So if I may, until Susaye comes on as well, I say Susaye, she reminds me of a little rabbit. Oh, here she is. Here she is.
I think I lost you girls.
No, you're still here, Joyce.
Hi, Joyce.
Oh, hi, Susaye.
How you doing?
Say.
Hi,
It
Scherrie.
seems like I lost everybody.
No,
You're still here. We see you.
Oh, here I am.
Hi, ladies. Hi, Esther.
Hello, Susaye.
How you doing?
You know what? Every time I look at Susaye looks like she's like 25 years old. What is
I know.
girl?
Only to hear. Talk to hear. It's nice to see you, ladies.
Oh, wow.
Thing.
I miss you so much. I just want to
Oh, gosh.
grab you to hug you. But my arms hurt too much. So I had my vaccine yesterday, and
Ooh, girl. The Moderna? You had the Moderna?
yes.
Okay.
So it wasn't too bad, the shot itself, but I just ache everywhere.
Ooh,
I
that's
feel
a
like
good
Oh, my
rest.
gosh.
somebody been working on me. But hey,
Oh, well, ladies, this is a real privilege. It's a real blessing having you on my show, On the Sofa with Esther, on LN Soul Radio, with neo soul and R&B living. And so,
thank you.
before you both came on, Joyce and Susaye, I was talking to Scherrie about Mary. We were just, reminiscing a little bit about Mary and the legacy that she's
Oh, yeah.
left.
Yeah.
And I just
Yeah.
loved what Scherrie said. She encouraged little Black girls to reach for the stars and to keep moving. And
That's right.
I remember meeting her, I lose time sometimes, about 3 years ago at the Hallows in Beverly Hills. And
Yes.
she always had this, she noticed, because there was a little boy who was filming for me, bless him, and she noticed that, and she encouraged him and she inspired him. And then I had the privilege of interviewing her the next year. And even in that interview, she said she wanted to, I think she was going into acting, but she wanted to do so much even at that age. It's almost as if she was just starting over again. And so if I may ask you, Joyce, and then I'll come to you to Susaye, what is the legacy that you feel Mary has left for the world?
Oh, my gosh. Well, it's just like Scherrie said, she encouraged little Black girls. And being from Detroit, I was one of those little Black girls looking up at her, and the other ladies as well, so yeah, I felt quite encouraged, and looking at her, I felt like, well, maybe one day I can do that, you know?
Sure.
So
Sure.
And you
she
did.
definitely encouraged me as well as the other ladies, just looking at those beautiful Black women on stage and in their dresses and just looking so beautiful. I always felt like one day I'm going to do that, not
Sure.
knowing, not ever realizing that one day I am doing it, but yeah, she was very encouraging as well as the other ladies.
Thank you. And Susaye?
Well, it was the legacy is, I think, different from the person, because in my mind, and this is something that Cindy Birdsong told me about Mary, when Jean came into the group and Diane was leaving, she realized at that point when they came off stage, because when Mary was on stage, she was lively and ebullient and charming and all of the things that you needed to be. But she was breaking inside because she didn't know what tomorrow was going to bring. She knew things would never be quite the same. They hadn't had a chance to record and do all of that and get records out, get hits again at that point. And she just collapsed. She just fell to her knees. And Cindy made me realize that for Mary, the Supremes was everything. You know?
Yes.
It was her great passionate dream. She had seen it come to fruition. And that, you know, and I know these two ladies sitting here know that carries itself.
No. Yes.
You know, that legacy will go on and on and on because it's history, you know.
Yes, absolutely.
But the person, Mary Wilson, left children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren even, and that's the real legacy, you know? Because
you're right.
it's a struggle. You see, it's a struggle for a woman in show business anyway, but for a woman with children, and yet Mary showed us how, you know, she'd have that baby on that hip and she'd be still, I am the most glamorous diva, you know?
That's right.
No.
She'd have Terkessa in the studio with her, right? Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
And on some of the TV shows or wherever, you know, and that's how I learned to have my baby nearby, right off camera, right there where I could see him, you know. It made a great impression on me. What a tremendous mother she was. And the same can be said for Diana. The same can be said for Florence, as well as Miss Payne, right here, you know. I mean, and I know you understand. I know you ladies understand. Because when you have children, that becomes your most important thing, regardless of what you are and what you've accomplished. I was watching a wonderful documentary yesterday about Audrey Hepburn, who we all feel, you know, is this light creature who has brought so much joy to so many people, but she had a very sad life. And we don't get to see that. We didn't know that her father left her, that she never recovered from that, that she was never happy in her relationships, that all of these things. You don't know these things. It's on Netflix, you know, take a look. But
okay.
But you know, it's not about Audrey Hepburn. It's the, you know, she was the biggest star in the world. And she left it.
She was.
Because she wanted to be with her babies. It was not guilt. It was not, oh, I'm doing too much. It was, I want to be with my family. And that is intrinsic in us. You know? That's the legacy. That's the legacy I hope I leave. You know?
Me too. Me too.
And that's powerful, Susaye, especially when we're celebrating International, I would say, Women's Month. You know, that sort of ties nicely into that ethos as we come to the end of International Women's Month. And that's why I love interviewing artists like yourselves, because we often see you up on the stage and it looks wonderful and you're serenading us with your gift. But I keep saying behind those doors, you don't know how much they're juggling. And I remember when I interviewed Sister Sledge a few years ago, they had just lost their sister Joni. And they said that same week they had to get up on stage and perform. And I said, how? How?
Because the show must go on.
That's what I'm about to say. It must do. And one thing I do realize, just interviewing a lot of artists from Motown or from that era, that those are the attributes. The show must go on. Even with Eddie LeVert from the OJs, he lost 2 sons within the space of 2 years.
Wow. Unbelievable.
But it's
incredibly strong.
He is. And I find it's one's faith and this motto that the show must go on. And so those attributes are also the legacies that ladies like yourself offer us, because you've done it, you've lived it, you are it at times, and you still got to show up for your audience. That is incredible.
For sure.
I remember when Mary's son Ralphie passed away, and Mary had to go on, and she did. I remember her doing, it was the Dinah Shore show, I think she was on, or maybe not. I can't think of the lady's name, but I remember she was on her show and she sang "You Are So Beautiful," and about Ralphie, which just passed away.
Sally Jesse Raphael, I think. Sally. Yes.
Right. Exactly. And I remember when Susaye and I and Mary were doing a show at Caesar's Palace, and I think it was December 2nd, whatever. But that day before, my sister was getting married in Chicago, and so that was in '76. And I told Frida to make it after the Caesar's Palace performance, but she didn't do it. So I had to fly in on that Wednesday and to be there in the home of my aunt and uncle who lived in Chicago. And we had it there because my mother had cancer and she was staying in their home and they would believe that she could get killed. But anyway, I flew in that morning, tried on my gown and everything for the wedding. We had the wedding at the home, and then the reception, I had to leave in the middle of the reception, which was in the recreation room, to fly back to Las Vegas because we were opening at Caesar's Palace the next day. And I remember when I saw my mother, it was so hard for me. I just thought about this the other day. I knew my mother was dying when I looked at her because that was December, and then she passed away 4 months later. So that was the hardest thing for me to do, though, to leave my mother and then to fly back to Vegas to open up at the Caesar's Palace the next day. But like Susan said, the show must go on. The show must go on.
I heard that since little kid. You know, I've heard that because my parents were in show business. You know, you know, you had to go and do the thing. And Mary was very much, you know, I don't care if Mary had like a leg hanging half out. I'm talking about of the joint. You know, she was going on stage, baby. And she was going to give her all. She's a great example. I'm being facetious, but it's a real thing. You know, performers are real people, and they have ups and downs and pains and hurts and stuff. But you do what you do because the people, you know, there are people sitting out there. We laugh and joke and say, "Oh my gosh, you know, these people came to see us," you know, and you never lose that. And you owe it to them. You really do. I believe that.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah. And you never want to disappoint your fans. So if you're sick,
that's so true.
Suck it up and you hit that
show
stage.
Must go on.
The show must go on, right, Joyce?
So if I may, I'm going to ask yourselves individually, Joy, when you've gone through those moments, as Susaye shared, when the show must go on, and you've had to park your feelings, what does that feel like? Because there's that contrast of having to park your feelings and then get up on stage as if, you know, the whole world is in your hands with all that glamour and that love for your audience. So how do you balance that contrast?
Just do. I don't know how you do it, but you do it. I don't know, you know, you just think about the show's got to go on, you know, because I had a daughter that passed away, and I had to get past that, you know.
And you obviously go back and deal with it afterwards, but that also shows a strength of character that you're birthed with, but then you evolve with, because it's something that happens as you go through these experiences.
That's right.
Scherrie, what would you say?
Oh, I would say the
I'd
same
say
thing.
yes.
Right, yeah. I agree with Joyce. You have to remember her daughter was so beautiful, is beautiful, because she's just gone on. She's not gone, she's gone on. But Tracy was beautiful.
Yeah.
And she was so young, I think 18, I believe, when she passed. But Joyce, like she said, she went back on that stage when it came time and gave her 100%, 200%. And that's what you have to do through it, all these adversities, like Mary did when Ralphie died. She had to go on. She had to go on.
Well, when I think of Mary losing her son, or her son just is gone on, and she had to get on that stage and be beautiful and glamorous, and you know, you don't want your audience to even pick up on that, you know.
Smile.
It's just something inside of you that oh my gosh, yes.
That's that song, Smile Though Your Heart Is Breaking. Smile though, even though it may be aching.
Sure.
And I guess then, you know, you have been together for quite a while now, and I just love you've got some new music out, and you're constantly evolving and try new things. So you've still got a little bit of the old, a little bit of the new, a little bit of this, you know, that little bit of everything. And you're still very relevant in this time. So what do you feel has kept you together, the glue that's kept you all together now? Because I feel that you guys are just going to go on together forever. So what is the uniqueness that you all carry amongst yourself that just holds that together? And also the beauty about yourselves is you still enjoy what you're doing. You can see it when you perform.
Love it.
I think it's
Absolutely love it.
sisterhood and friends, because we're friends and we love each other, and that's the glue. There's some groups that only see each other when they get on stage, but they have nothing to do with one another off stage. They don't even like each other. But Joyce and Susaye and I truly love one another, so I think that's the glue.
Yeah,
true. And we have the best time, Esther.
Sure do.
We do. We have so much
You
fun.
gotta come and hang out with us. You know, they have to stop us from laughing and stuff. Because we just have a lovely time. You know,
We do
we've
have a good
experienced
time.
so much. We've experienced so much. I didn't really think about this until just recently, because I've joined Clubhouse, and there, you know, you've got people of every genre of everything who are putting themselves forward. And I thought, oh my word, I'm the age that I am, and I'm excited. And that's how we feel, you know.
Yeah.
We look forward when they say, you know, you're going to Dubai, you're going to England. We're like, woohoo, you know, we're ready for it. And you get there and you realize that people don't speak the same language that you do.
Isn't that something? Yeah.
But baby, they're feeling it. You know, they feel the same things. That's the connective thread. We all know that. We know that we're here to carry something on, to carry on a great legacy. But we are very strong, talented individuals who do a lot of things. And it's those things for ourselves that propel us forward. The blessing is that we get to be together, because it means we have company and we have, you know, camaraderie and good fun. We can discuss men and women and all the stuff going on in the world, you know. We talk about it. But it's
we have a great time.
We sure do. But there's a giving spirit. You know, in performers, that's what you're doing. You're serving the people.
Yes.
And you don't forget that. You know, it makes a great impact in their lives. Obviously, music, there's nothing like it.
Yes.
You know? It touches people's lives and their hearts and souls, and to be able to give that out, I mean, it's like a minor miracle.
I mean, there have been some times, I'm sure Joyce and Susaye may have felt the same way, as well as other entertainers, where when I went out and I really didn't feel like performing, maybe I was depressed or down or not feeling well.
Oh,
the moment you hit that stage, you look out in that audience and you see those people like in the front rows that you can see, and you see their smiling faces and they're just ready for a show. And all of a sudden you lift up. And
That's right.
I can't let them down. I can't let them down. And that's
right.
what boosts you and encourages you to let me do my best. Let me give them a show that they came to see.
That's true. That's true.
And what would you say was, I mean, you've probably had so many beautiful experiences, because we've spoke about some of the downsides and how you've come through those. But can you share maybe one of those experiences where you had the most amazing time ever together?
So
wow. No, it's so many, aren't there?
So many.
It's always hard. You know, it's hard. I can think, you know, when we went to Detroit last, we went to Detroit and it was starting to get cold. And we stayed in houses that were, I guess they were like private hotels. Yes.
Yeah.
And, you know,
it was
they were Victorian homes, just gorgeous.
Yeah,
beautiful.
Oh, but Detroit, to go to Detroit, and it was the first time I think we've been cold that year. We've been in cold weather. It was freezing. You know? But the people were so warm.
Yes, they were. They were.
And, that was a very special for me. because
Mhm.
there were a lot of other groups there. We performed at a show where there were a lot of the Motown groups. And to get to see them, and they have the same spirit. They
Yes, they
do.
do. They do.
Still, I mean, voices change. People's voices change, and we've been pretty
Yes.
lucky in that sense. But because
Well,
well, it's true. You still, you can still feel that music and be soulful and perform it. And
yeah.
the proof of that is feedback. Let's
Yes.
be real. You might
Yeah.
not feel that you are, what you used to be, but
Mhm.
you still are giving out your spirit and your love.
Yeah.
And people
Mhm.
appreciate it. They eat it up,
Yes.
They
Effort. Yes,
do.
they do.
They do.
And a lot of them know the lyrics better than we do. I'll blank
Oh
out.
my gosh, yes. They do. But you know what?
right.
What I really like is the fact that people come up to us and they just say, this song means so much to me, or I got married on this song, or I met my whatever, and it's like, okay, it makes them feel so good
Yeah.
when we sing those songs. You don't know
Mhm.
what it means to them, but apparently it means something. And that's
It
really a
does.
good feeling to know that you've made somebody happy. You
Mm.
don't even realize it,
Mhm.
That's very
And
true.
when you're in purpose and on purpose, because each artist has a gift, and you're with that gift all the time. You're sharing and you're giving, and so in that giving, it really is about touching lives. You touch the different
is.
emotions.
Yes.
I mean, I had the
Yes.
privilege of interviewing the 3 Degrees a couple of weeks ago, and the same connection that you have amongst yourselves, it feels the same that they have, that connection. And also, it's so fantastic to see grown, mature women still with their elegance. I love, because you did a photo shoot also for the magazine a couple of years ago, and
that was great.
for my magazine, and that was
Yeah.
fantastic, because my photographer, she said she had such a fantastic time, and she kept on texting, Esther, these are amazing people, and she goes, I can't believe I'm photographing these women. But the beauty of yourselves is not just in the music and the longevity and what you symbolize, but it's who you still are. Does that make sense,
Yeah.
ladies?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It does.
And Susaye, you talked about the legacy of Mary and what you all want to keep going as well, and you are that train that's keeping that legacy going. And even the pictures that I posted out on social media, and I just looked at yourselves in those black dresses, and you could just see you guys were just having fun. It was just nice to see that elegance, and women, I would say your age, still holding it and holding it fine, ladies.
Thank you, Esther.
We have to, yes, thank you. Even though we weren't original members, we both, Susaye and I, joined in the 70s. I joined in 73 and Susaye in 76. But we still owe it to Diana, Florence,
That's
and Mary.
right. That's
Keep
right.
that standard set, keep that bar high, and not to come down.
That's
And that's what
right.
we're trying to do, and will continue to do, as Mary
Yes.
would have appreciated and loved.
Yes.
Because that's how she
Yes.
was. She always
Amen.
kept that bar high,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
standard high.
It is about that
That's
personal
right.
standard. You have
Mhm.
you have a choice. I mean, everybody loves to, be around the house and have on your sweaters or your sweats or whatever and chill. But when you put those fabulous dresses on, it lifts
Oh.
you. It
Yeah.
makes you.
Mm.
It's like your crown was off to the side and you just straighten it up. It's great for the spirit, for us.
Yes.
It keeps us. I don't know. I'm the type of person, I've always loved glamour and Vogue magazine, Haute Couture, and all that.
Yes.
As a child, I had to have my Vogue magazines. It was a pain in the butt, I'm sure. To my parents, but I love all of that. I enjoy being the girl that I am. Because I can be lots of different girls, but I love being that one,
Yeah.
a lot of the time, as often as possible.
Wonderful, wonderful. And time seems to be running out so fast today. I just don't understand because with my first guest, it was almost over. So I've got roughly about 5, maybe 10 minutes left. So I'd like to just touch briefly, ladies, on the album Unconditional Love. Tell me a bit more. Single, apologies. The single Unconditional Love. Just give us a bit more about that.
Well, I wrote the song with my friend Jeffrey Chin. I wrote the melody and the lyrics, and he wrote the music, you know, and we produced it together. I, of course, am executive producer because that's how I roll. You know, somebody's got to make the decision, the final decisions of the music. And I'm a perfectionist. Like you were saying, you know, you have this standard in your own being.
Right.
When the song was written, I took it to Scherrie and Joyce and asked if they would join in because it was perfect timing, I thought, for us. And so pleased, we're so honored. We got a national song. We were honored for national song from the Black Music Association.
Congratulations.
You know, thank you. So grateful, so grateful. And, you know, it's a song that's a singer's song. We love to sing it. You know, it's just one of those songs that you get into, you know, and we've been very pleased with the reception that it has had. You know, people seem to love it now. They come to the show and they tell us and they write us, you know, I'm online like all the time, that I'm not doing, you know, other pertinent things. But the feedback's been tremendous. So we're looking forward to getting back in the studio and doing more things. But we hope people will look on iTunes and Amazon and everywhere. It's everywhere online, Unconditional Love. And we call ourselves Scherrie and Susaye.
Scherrie and Susaye, formerly of the Supreme.
With Joyce Vincent. Yes.
Joyce
and we
Vincent.
shorten that to SJS sometimes. So people, you can find us. People can find us everywhere.
Brilliant. And before I forget, Joyce, Bernadette Bascom sends to say hello to you.
Please tell her I love her. I miss her. Oh,
I think she's watching this interview now. She's watching this interview now. So she just told me to say hello because I met her 2 years ago. We spent a fabulous time walking around London and laughing and giggling. So she sent to say her love to you. Yeah.
Well, hello back to her.
Isn't that beautiful?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And
we miss the UK.
Well, hopefully you'll be back soon. There's so many artists looking to come over, and it would be amazing to see you all again because I saw you, I think, about 2 or 3 years ago at 40 Years of Disco in Wembley, if I remember correctly.
Wow.
And I was trying to wave at you, but obviously, you know, you didn't quite see me. Now you know what I look like. Next time, wave back.
Absolutely. I remember seeing you at the HAL Awards. Remember you at the HAL Awards interviewing people. That's right.
That's right, because that's where I interviewed you briefly. Oh, I interviewed Scherrie as well. And that's where I also interviewed Mary on the red carpet. Yes, yes, fabulous, fabulous. So, ladies, in winding down, what is it that you can share with your audience now? Because it's so wonderful to be talking, I say, to my elders, to be inspired, to be just to see women who have raised and keep raising the bar, because, you know, sometimes people get a little tired and despondent, but when I listen to yourselves, you're still talking about raising the bar, and that in itself is an invaluable attribute. So if you could just share one thing from yourselves to the audience that would keep them striving for their dreams, striving to be the best, and with that elegance and that eloquence of being. So Joyce, I'm going to start with you.
You know, my thing is you have to follow your heart. Follow what you really want to do. And that seems to work for me. You know, I can't speak for anybody else, but you gotta follow, follow that heart. So, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Scherrie?
Yes.
Well, I agree with Joyce. Follow your heart, follow your dream, and don't give up. You know, sometimes we get a little down. I get depressed, because I suffer from depressions. But I pray, I talk to the Lord,
Yes.
And sometimes I just have to sing myself happy.
Yeah.
And then I'm all better.
Amen.
I know how that is, Scherrie. Yeah.
That's right. But don't let the enemy have any
No.
territory in your
Mm-mm.
heart or your mind or
Mm-mm.
your soul.
Of course.
You keep striving to do better, be better,
That's
to
right. Yeah.
just raise that bar to keep striving ahead, because you don't want to go backwards. You want to go forward.
Forward.
Mm-mm.
So you might have some bad days. It's only natural to have some bad days. We can't always
Well,
be
that's
up and
human.
be
That's
bullied.
human
That's right.
nature.
But
You know, you're gonna.
know that it's human, that okay, I'm a little low today, but I'm going to be better tomorrow. That's right.
Fantastic.
Mhm.
Striving for your
Mhm.
dream.
Fantastic. Wow. And Susaye, last but not
Well,
least.
last but not least, I want to talk just a quick word about, because it's Women's History Month. I want to talk to women. I feel that this is a very special time for women.
It sure
It
is.
is. Women are rising up financially with independence and strength. They're doing all kinds of things in tech, in science, math, in entertainment, in every aspect of our lives. But women are going to have to make a stand at a certain point, because the young lady, Sarah, who was
Oh, yes.
just
Yeah.
going home, that
Yes.
was what she was guilty of, was going home alone, and because of that, she lost her life.
Mm.
Women are taken advantage of in many ways, on many levels.
Mm.
But now is the time for women, I think, to speak out, to not only follow their dreams, but dig deep enough to accomplish them. All the tools are there. I recommend Clubhouse. I mentioned it before. I recommend that to every woman in particular, because there are rooms there where anything you don't know about, seriously, about your personal life, about what work you want to do, if you want to be in the science industry, if you want to be in real estate, if you want to be an entertainer, the people who make the moves are there, and they're giving out information for free. You know what you want in your heart, and it's time to bring that out. Lift yourself up, lift others up. We stand together and we will make some changes in the world. There is no more glass ceiling. We have kicked the glass ceiling through.
Okay.
And
I
because
need
of
to
that,
join
and
that.
and because it's young women, oh yes, I'll invite you, because you have to be invited.
Okay.
But
okay.
if you stand and you support other women, now is the time that things will change for all of us.
Yeah.
That, I think, is a focus that we've got to have. There, women have a reputation for being separate. We don't have time for that anymore.
Yes.
Jealousies or backbiting or any of that, we don't have time. We have to move forward, make positive, aggressive moves, and then bring our sisters in, help lift them up. We've got to do that, because if you remember, women, 1 in 3 women in the world are assaulted every day. Every day. That's a lot of women, and most of them aren't reporting it. But it's not just that. That's in the workplace, that's in the home, that's in the streets. But what we have is something that the world cannot do without. Life comes through us.
That's right.
And we can stand and do and accomplish and achieve and be happy and make choices and dream big and bigger and bigger and bigger, and actually do those things. And the time is now. The pandemic has put a stop on the world, but not on our hearts, not on our spirits, not on what's in our heads.
That's right.
There's a lot up there, and you can do whatever you think you can do. And if you don't think you can do it, drop me a line and I'll show you how you can. That's a promise.
Not that though.
Right now,
oh my gosh, the ladies. Yes, I know. We feel like, woo! The ladies, I just want to say a huge thank you to yourselves. I know I didn't really want to sort of
cover what was usually covered in lots of interviews. I just wanted to get into the heart and soul in terms of who you are, and you know, it's sometimes nice to come away from all that. So I just want to say thank you, because I've got one more person on for about 5 minutes. She's in the waiting room, but I'd just like to say thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your wisdom. Thank you so much for what you stand for. And I want to be part of that clubhouse, Susaye, so I'll be contacting you.
All right.
Yeah?
Well, give our love to that lady, because we love her.
Yes, Lavinia.
Thanks for having us.
Bless you. Thank you so much, ladies. And on that note, wishing you all well. And I will be in touch soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Stay safe.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Wow. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was the former Supremes, a wonderful bouquet of information, a wonderful conversation. And now I'm be speaking to Lavinia. Lavinia, are you there?
I am. Hello.
Hello, this is the lovely Lavinia. Apologies for that, but we were just having a wonderful conversation with Susaye, Joyce, and Scherrie, and they're still on. What we're going to be talking about, ladies, is Lavinia is, you'd have to give yourself the title, Lavinia.
Financial wellness and money mindfulness coach. So I talk about one's relationship with money, especially as it's evolving in the age of blockchain and Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies.
Yeah. So I leave it over to you, Lavinia. So the ladies are still listening in. Thank you. So go ahead.
Hi, ladies. Okay. Hi. Right. So, so far we have touched on the future of money, money mindset, money mastery, and now this week in this short segment, this short, succinct, and sweet segment about money, we're talking on money management. So, just to recap, there are 4 key pillars to money mindfulness. Okay, so that's getting you aligned with your money, not just physically or just by what you earn, but like spiritually, psychologically, emotionally, right? So the first one was money mindset. You have to go back and listen if you want to know about money mindset. The second was money mastery. And now the third one is money management. Now, money management is something most of us are used to. We're used to that term. And money management touches on debt. It touches on savings. It touches on investments, estate planning, okay? And so with money management, we touch here, this is what I promote, is we create a spending. So these are different things that you can do. But money management looks how purposeful you are with your money. So, money management looks at the process of knowing where and how you are spending your money and how to improve it with a focus on mindfulness, peace, and intention. What do I mean by that? Sometimes we look at our bank accounts and we're just like, oh my good Lord, how am I going to get through this? How am I going to, there's more months than there is money. But this is the thing, our bank accounts should not dictate to us our value. We are powerful beings, and generally all of us have a 100% track record in overcoming our challenges, at finding resolutions and solutions to deal with our challenges. It's the same with money. So with money mindfulness, yes, you need to have an understanding of how you are managing your money. But when you manage your money, it's not just about what you do with it, but it's also how you feel about it and what you think about it. So here are some tips for you to get a better relationship with your money through money management. So first one is to create a spending journal stating what you spent, why and how it made you feel for a minimum of a week or to a month, just to see, like track, let's track ourselves internally, externally. Do a search on money apps and download one to see if it makes a difference to the way that you do manage your money. Look at the rate you're receiving for your cash savings. Can you do better? Are there other options? I know of options. I have solutions in regards to that, as does Esther. Make a list of 5 things, assets you would like to invest in, and say why. Right now, shares are low because of the whole pandemic. So we have Rolls-Royce, a British Airways. Is that something you've always wanted to invest in? Could it be a great investment for you? Or could something, an alternative, such as Bitcoin or alt cryptos, perhaps? So these are the things one can look at. And so, you know, these conversations just to get you thinking about how you manage your money, not just the savings, but how you feel about it as you're managing your money as well. Thank you.
Oh, wow. I was getting into
Short and sweet, as you like it, Esther.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, wow. I will be in touch with you anyway, because things are changing. So I will be in touch. So ladies and gentlemen, this is Lavinia Osborne. If you go onto Facebook, you'll be able to find her details. She is, I would say, one of the blockchain queens out there. And, you know, this is invaluable information for all of us, especially as we're coming through these interesting times. So thank you, Lavinia.
Thank you. And may I just add, you can find, thank you. You can find me on LinkedIn. And if you're interested in learning about blockchain, I have an event this coming Wednesday, 23rd of March, sorry, the 24th of March. So Wednesday, 24th of March. And if you just Google Women in Blockchain Talks, make sure you add talks at the end of it, and you'll be able to find details on the event. And I hope to see you there. Okay, brilliant. Thank you. Thank you. All right, then hope to hear from you soon as well. And thank you always for this invaluable information. That's just going to support people's lives into a better place. So thank you, Lavinia. Have a good week. You too. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the show today. I still have the beautiful Scherrie Payne and Joyce Vincent hovering here with me. It's just really nice. It feels really cozy. And what I'd like to do now is to say a huge thank you to everyone who's listened in, everyone who's left messages, and also to Anthony B. Williams. Got to also always give him top props for allowing me this platform to do what I do. Thank you to my boys. Thank you to all my guests. And I am going to play out soon with Unconditional Love, because I think it's quite apt for the energy that we've shared today. And just to let you know that my the spring issue of my magazine will be out next week. And these ladies, you're in the magazine. I'm sure you're in the magazine. Are you in the magazine? Yeah, I think you are. But the spring issue of Turning Point, Your Lifestyle, Your Wellbeing magazine will be out next week. You go on to turningpointmag.com for further details. And as the ladies said, and also as Michelle John said beforehand, and even Lavinia, this is our time. Men and women, it's our time, but women, it's our time to rise up, to stand up, and to just stand in the glory of who we are. But it's going to take ladies like these to encourage and inspire us to do that as well. So bowing out now, have a fantastic week. See you in the same time, same place next week. Next week is Pillow Talk. And then for the month of April, I'm going to be streaming on 3 different platforms. So that's when Scherrie talks about keep moving up and Joyce keeps about moving up, that's what I'm doing. Keep moving up. And, you know, there is no glass ceiling. There is no glass ceiling. And on that note, I'm going to play out with Unconditional Love. So if there's any messages for the ladies. And you have these beautiful smiles all the time. Joyce, you've got this smile. Scherrie, you've got this smile. And thank you so much for being so honest with, sharing about depression. Thank you. With you in my arms, here's no other place that I'd rather be. The way you make me feel with your hand in mine, we can
Just in my unconditional love. Ooh, baby, with your sexy self.
Lavinia's left a message, beautiful song, Silky. Well, ladies and gentlemen, playing out in the background is Unconditional Love by the former Supremes. Just wishing you well. Hope you take the body of information that we've shared tonight into your week. And over and out. Thank you. Bye, ladies.
I'm going to on earth can make me feel like you do. Ooh, and when you're in my arms, feeling safe and warm, we can't do anything that we want, 'cause we know that it's unconditional.
The best neo soul radio station. This is LN Soul Radio.